New Delhi is witnessing a series of high-level meetings following the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack. From the Prime Minister's residence at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg yesterday to back-to-back discussions lined up today, the government is firmly in action mode. Yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level security meeting at his official residence. Top ministers and security officials, including Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, were present. Key decisions were made. According to government sources, the Prime Minister gave complete operational freedom to the Indian Armed Forces to avenge the Pahalgam terror attack. Prime Minister Modi stressed that a befitting reply to terrorism is our firm national resolve. He also expressed full faith in the capabilities of India's armed forces, giving them a free hand on operational decisions, from the mode of response to its timing and targets. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat also met Prime Minister Modi at his residence shortly after the meeting with the chiefs of the three services concluded. A series of key meetings are lined up today, including sessions of the Cabinet Committee on Security, Political Affairs and Economic Affairs. The CCS is expected to meet at 11 a.m. amid rising tensions with Pakistan following India's move to suspend the Indus Water Treaty, a step Islamabad has labelled quote-unquote, an act of war. Now, this move comes alongside border closures and the blocking of select YouTube channels and X handles. The Union Cabinet will also convene today its first meeting since the Pahalgam attack, underlining the urgency of India's counter-response. Let me quickly go across to Major General V.K. Datta, defense and strategic expert. A very warm welcome to you, General. Given the Prime Minister has given a free hand to the armed forces, is India preparing diplomatically and domestically for a strike on Pakistan, General?
See, Neha, the thing is that Indian response to this drastic terrorist attack is not limited to a particular sector of response. We are taking a whole of nation and a total hybrid response against Pakistan, because in spite of repeated warnings to Pakistan, they have not mended their ways and they're continuing with the state-sponsored terror. And episode after episode, they have been continuing to perpetuate in India. Now, when we talk about strategy, tactics, because Pakistan is a tactical nation. They are very good at doing a tactical short-term operation without thinking about the consequences and the fallout of that particular thing. And the examples are many down the chain, including the Kargil war, where they took a step and then they didn't know how to get away with it. So now the thing is that India's response is that will be, what I mean is, will be at tactical, at strategic, and a grand strategic level. And this time, India is going to go all after Pakistan, all out, to make sure that Pakistan, as a nation in future, maybe does not exist. And why I'm saying so is that whatever you see, what is happening today in Pakistan internally, this is the most. In fact, if somebody is foolish, and Asif Munir, the chief of the army staff of Pakistan, who is the main culprit behind the whole episode, and not only that, since ages, it is the Pakistan Army, the Pakistan ISI, using the Lashkar Toiba, Jaise Mohammed type organizations to have a deniability. But we know that it is not those tanzeems. It is the Pakistan Army which is doing it. And therefore, we are going to go after everybody who is the better of this crime, be it any level. I only, tell him to pray to the Allah to be able to get away from this. We are coming after you. And we are coming after with you with everything we have, whether it is economic, it is strategic, it is water, it is international, it is whatever. You are going to get it from all directions, and you are going to get it from within. And therefore, if I was a Pakistani, a stupid guy who has taken this move of putting his hand into the tiger's mouth, then let the hand be bitten off. And see, as far as Pakistan is concerned, they are, I don't want to use that term, they are doing S bricks. Huh? they don't know what to do. They're sweating. Without fighting a war so far, from 22nd of April till today, about 40, 50 Pakistani soldiers have lost their life. In the Lahore airport, there's been a massive fire and damage, and the missiles are blasting off. In Skardu, their F-16 planes are crashing to the ground. That is before even the Indian Army has mobilized. So you can imagine
Right.
what is going to happen to them when we mobilize and when we take the action which we are going to take. And mind you, in the recent history in India, you would have never seen a response of this nature. When the Prime Minister has had a cabinet committee on security, today we're going to have a marathon meetings. Yesterday, all the heads of the arms and services and the CDS were with the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister has given a free hand to all the uh, authorities and the organizations which are going to deal with Pakistan. Now it is left to the, as far as the military response is concerned. So when I say free hand, the military response free hand has been given to the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, and uh, that is General Anil Chauhan, and all the chiefs of the army and the NSA. Now comes the question of cabinet committee on security, cabinet committee on parliamentary affairs, cabinet committee on economic affairs. This is going to now start, and it's going to be a marathon session culminating into the final meeting of the cabinet to take whatever decisions and to apprise the cabinet what the nation is now planning and how are we going to deal with Pakistan. Now, as far as international arrangement is concerned, all the major nations of the world are aligned with India. There's a zero tolerance to terrorism. How long can Pakistan keep getting away by saying it's a false flag operation? India has done it themselves and we are not involved. People are not stupid. We have evidence and we'll get more credible evidence. 26/11, they said the same thing. They said, no, 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 it has been done by the saffron terror and we are being blamed in spite of giving them the proofs. And now we have Tawsif Rahman in us custody given by America on extradition. And all
Right.
these connections will be exposed.
Right,
And
General.
all these guys, yeah, who are working behind the scenes are going to get it.
Right.
Over to you,
General,
Neha.
also, I would like to understand from you, we've pretty much tried everything with Pakistan dialogue, diplomacy, even the hard way. Yet it refuses to fall in line. General, what will it take to make Pakistan stop cross border terrorism once and for all?
See, in their desire to get Kashmir, the Pakistan as a nation and the Pakistan army has continuously played a India card to the Awam of Pakistan, making the fool of the public to remain in power. And remain in power by whom? The Pakistan army. The Pakistan army today is the biggest pariah in Pakistan. They are sucking the blood of their own people. They are carrying out massive atrocities to their own people, whether it is in Baluchistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in Sindh, in POK. So my request or my message to the people of Pakistan would be: get rid of this rabid army. They are not your friends; they are your enemies. As far as India is concerned, we will not put our foot on the Pakistani soil. We have got no interest in you. Yes, POK is ours and we are going to take it back. Whether it happens now, it happens after some time, that we will take back. You are not going to, you can keep dreaming about Kashmir and J&K. You are never going to get it. So why do you want to ruin your own country? Please keep what is with you today. Try to save your own country. Baluchistan is going to ask for liberation and they're fighting a liberation war. TTP, supported by the Taliban, are going to ask for independence, and the Durand line is to come down south to the borders of Punjab or Pakistan. So what is going to be left with Pakistan? Only the Pakistani Punjab, and because the Pakistani army belongs to the Punjabis, it is the Punjabi Musliman in Pakistan who's ruling the roost, and it is exploiting everything which belongs to all the other communities in Pakistan. So as far as we are concerned, maybe Pakistan will fail to exist hereafter. Pakistan is going to break down in four parts: Baluchistan, that is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, two, Sindh, three, and what will be left of Pakistan is Punjab, which will have no access to the sea. There will be a landlocked area, and these guys will remember throughout their generation to come that what did it cost them to put their hand in the mouth of India. a tiger, all right, a tiger in this area. We've been very magnanimous with Pakistan. We said, okay, maybe they'll have some sense in them. You can imagine. Look at Europe. Europe went to war for hundreds of years, and today it is a European Union. Pakistan could have had the same arrangement with India. We have Nepal on one side, the friendly relations. People can come and people can go. People of Pakistan could have come and visited J&K, have a honeymoon there. Who stopped it? Provided Pakistan understood as a mature nation that they will never get J&K on the lines of saying that, oh, it is a majority Muslim area and should come to Pakistan. Bullshit. India had more Muslims in India than in Pakistan. It is now recently that their population is now expanding from the seams. Otherwise, India was more Islamic than Pakistan itself. They should feel ashamed of themselves. And Munir is saying, that Muslims and Hindus are two different civilizations. No, we were one civilization. The entire Indian subcontinent was one. All the other religions came much later. It was Sanatana Dharma which was here. And ask Asif Munir, get your DNA test done. You will find some forefather of yours being a Hindu. Have some shame. Okay, fine, you are following a religion today. You are most welcome. Don't forget your roots. Look at
Right.
Indonesia. The Prime Minister of Indonesia came and said, my DNA is Indian. They are also Muslim. Have some respect for your own civilization culture. You are nobody. You are
Right,
not
General.
coming from the offshoot of Muhammad Ghazni and Ghauri. Your roots are in India. You are a origin of Hindu. Fine. You converted under the sword. God bless you. No problem. Carry on. Fine. So
Right,
therefore,
General.
Pakistan has to understand that India is a good friend. We are very magnanimous. You try and take us on and we'll teach you a lesson.